Hi, I'm Paula from Chic Emporium, and today we are doing steampunk. I'm really excited about this. We got given this table, which I wasn't sure if I liked or not, but now it's ours. I wanted to do something exciting with it, and because of all the ironwork, it kind of reeks of steampunk. So I fished out a steampunk box that I made myself, that I keep all my bits in that I got from eBay, and I fished out the Steampunk Chic stencil, so we're going to use that too. But the exciting bit is I'm going to get hubby to cut this piece of wood to lay underneath, so it creates me like a false box underneath, and then I can layer up my stenciling and my stuff in the sealed box underneath. So I haven't decided on colours yet today, so while hubby's going off to saw it up and make it the right size, I'm going to have a look at the colours that I've got in my selection and see what we're going to do. So we'll come back in a bit. Thanks. Right, there we go. Right, so we've took the glass off to make sure that doesn't break at any point. Husband's cut a bit of wood, so in the meantime I've prepped this, the wood bit of the table that was quite a nasty orangey colour. I've done 3 coats of ivory tower and dried it off thoroughly in between with my hairdryer, and I've put a coat of crackle glaze on because I thought it would look nice with an old crack effect going on. I've chosen Panther today. I haven't actually used Panther before, and it's a bit of a slate kind of black. I'm just going to show you just a little bit of what happens when we put it on top of the crackle glaze, and the idea is not to go over and over the same area, because otherwise you affect what's happening, because the cracks appear quite quickly as it dries. Right, so we've crackle glazed everywhere, so as you can see it's come up quite lovely. The effect is, you can't predict it. So there are some areas where it's less and some areas where it's more, but I quite like the finish. I'll probably use some sandpaper to distress some areas and let some of the original wood come through. But what I'm going to do now, as you can see, we've put in the bit of wood. So I'm going to use the Chic Steampunk stencil all the way along in random areas, and I'm going to do some raised stencils just to give some relief. So I'll come back when I've got that prepped and done. Right, so I've done 3 random stencils. They are raised just slightly, and you're not really going to see the effect of this until we get to after the painting session. So what I'm going to do now is take this bit of wood out, because it'll be much easier to paint and not get the white on the inside of the table. I'm then going to paint it in the ivory tower, so the stencils will pretty much disappear. And then I'm going to show you some dry brushing techniques of how we bring that stencil back to life, which is exactly the same technique that you would use on any carvings or fancy bits on furniture that you might buy. So you can use the same technique on that. So that's when we'll come back. So we'll see you then. Right, so as you can see, I've put 3 coats of ivory tower, and it's virtually covered up the stencils. So now I'm going to show you dry brushing, which will bring it back to life. Literally use a very square-ended brush. It is absolutely bone dry. It's not just been washed up or anything. That's the important thing, keep it dry. I often use the lid for this technique. So I'm dipping it in to the paint. This is hot as mustard. And I'm getting rid of as much excess as possible, and then using the lid to get rid of even more. So I've got virtually nothing on there. And then I'm going to brush in the vicinity of the raised stencil. And as you can see, it's picking up the edge. Chalky's having great fun here because we've put a cover over my table, and look. Good grief. So I'm just very gently brushing, and it's picking it up. Lovely. So I'm going to carry on in exactly the same way over the whole area, and I might add some more colours to it as well, doing exactly the same thing. So I'll pop back when I'm up to that. Alright. Right, so we've finished the dry brushing. I added some pumpkin pie to the hot as mustard, and then we've screwed it back into place now. And I've literally just laid out all of my wooden bits, my metal bits, and I'm going to just go through the process of gluing them down very carefully with my glue gun. So next time we speak, all the gluing will be done, they'll be in place. I don't have to go mad with the gluing because obviously they're going to be under a glass and no one's going to be. Right, so it's all finished. We've glued all the bits into place, replaced the glass, made sure it had a good clean. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depends how you look at it, the glass has got a bit of a brown tint to it, so the whiteness of underneath, that was why we chose white, so that it would show up as much as possible, but of course you can't see it as white. So in order to try and tie it in a bit, we've put some bling, mixed Frenchine, silver and gold, and painted it all around the edges and just a little bit on the feature here, which I think sort of ties it all in. And then I've given it a really good coat of clear wax to buff the panther up to a really nice shine, which looks really nice. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you like the finished project. Thank you so much for supporting me. Please follow my page. It's www.facebook.com/The Emporium Furniture, which will take you straight to Chic Emporium. Thank you. Till next time.